7 evil tricks narcissists use when they know you know. Motivational speech, unmasking manipulation, and reclaiming your power. Opening with impact. My friends, let me ask you, have you ever felt like you were walking through a mental battlefield, constantly second-guessing yourself, questioning your worth, and feeling trapped in a cycle of manipulation? You see, when a narcissist knows that you've seen through their mask, the game changes. They go from controlling you subtly to launching an all-out attack to regain their grip. But here's the truth. They only fight back when they know they're loaching. This is where you take back your power. This is where you stop playing by their rules and start rewriting your own story. Today, I'm going to expose 7 evil tricks narcissists use when they realize you've figured them out. But more importantly, I'm going to show you how to break free and reclaim your confidence, your energy, and your life. Gaslighting on overdrive. The moment they feel their illusion slipping, they turn up the gaslighting to make you doubt your own reality. That never happened. You're overreacting. You're the problem. Sound familiar? Your power move. Hold firm to your truth. Write things down. Trust your instincts and never let them rewrite your reality. Playing the victim. Suddenly they are the ones who've been hurt. They are misunderstood. They are the real victim. They do this to shift attention away from their actions and make you feel guilty for seeing the truth. Your power move. Do not fall for the guilt trap. Recognize their act and stay strong in your boundaries. Smear campaign. Once they know you're out, they panic. They spread lies, twist stories, and turn people against you. Why? Because they can't control you anymore, so they try to control how others see you. Your power move. Let the truth speak louder than their lies. Keep your head high and don't engage in their drama. The people who matter will see the truth in time. Love bombing or fake apologies. Just when you think you're done, here they come, all charm and sweet words. I've changed. I miss you. I can't live without you. It's all an illusion to pull you back into the cycle. Your power move. Recognize the pattern. If they truly changed, they wouldn't need to manipulate you back in. They would have changed while they had you. Keep moving forward. Sudden discard and replacement. If they realize they can't fool you anymore, they'll drop you like you never mattered and flaunt someone else to make you feel worthless. They want you to feel jealous, abandoned, or regretful. Your power move. Understand that their new supply isn't special, just the next victim. You, however, are free, and that is power. Threats and intimidation. When charm fails, they may resort to fear. Threats to ruin your reputation, take things away, or even harm themselves to keep control. Your power move. Never let fear dictate your choices. Get support, document everything, and take legal action if necessary. Protect yourself. The just like me trick, one of their last-ditch efforts is to project their worst qualities onto you. You're the narcissist. You're the manipulator. Why? Because if you start defending yourself, you're playing their game. Your power move? Don't take the bait. You don't need to prove anything. Let your actions and integrity speak louder than their accusations. Closing with power. Let me tell you something. The very fact that they're using these tricks means you are winning. You're waking up. You're seeing clearly. And that means you are taking back control. This isn't just about spotting manipulation. It's about stepping into your strength, standing tall, and refusing to be a pawn in someone else's game. Because you are worthy. You are powerful. And the life waiting for you beyond this toxic cycle is greater than you can imagine. So make the decision today. Walk away. Rise up and never look back. Gaslighting on overdrive. You ever feel like you're losing your mind? Like every time you bring up something that hurt you, suddenly you're the one who's wrong? That's gaslighting. And when a narcissist knows you figured them out, they crank it up to full blast. They'll tell you it never happened. They'll tell you you're too sensitive. They'll twist your words, distort reality, and make you question your own sanity. And if you're not careful, you start believing it. You start thinking, maybe I am overreacting. Maybe I did misunderstand. And the moment you start doubting yourself, they've won. Because a person who doesn't trust their own mind is a person who can be controlled. That's what they want, to keep you confused, off balance, dependent on them for what's real and what's not. Because as long as they can keep you questioning yourself, they don't have to take responsibility for anything. But listen to me, and listen to me good. You know the truth. Your gut is screaming at you. Your heart knows when something isn't right. And the worst thing you can do is ignore that inner voice. So what do? You anchor yourself in reality. You write things down. You document conversations. You keep a journal, not because you have to prove anything to them, but because you need to see the pattern for yourself. And when they tell you that never happened, you don't argue, you don't defend, you don't waste your energy trying to convince them. You just know. And that knowing is your power. Because the moment you stop seeking validation from them, the moment you stop looking for them to acknowledge the truth, is the moment they lose control over your mind. And they hate that. They hate when you stand firm. They hate when you don't react. They hate when you look them dead in the eye and say, I don't need you to agree. I know what happened. That is strength. That is power. And that is the beginning of breaking free. Because here's the truth. The only people who gaslight you are the ones who are terrified of you seeing them clearly. And the more they try to manipulate your reality, the more desperate they are. So take a breath, stand tall, and own your truth. Because when you do, you step into a version of yourself they can no longer control. And that's when the game changes, playing the victim. You ever notice how suddenly when you start calling out their behavior, they become the victim? It's almost impressive how fast they flip the script. 1 minute, they're the one hurting you, manipulating you, lying to you. The next, I can't believe you'd say that. After everything I've done for you, I guess I'm just a terrible person. And before you know it, you're the one apologizing. You're the one explaining yourself. You're the one comforting them while they sit back and soak up the attention. Why? Because playing the victim is their ultimate escape route. It lets them avoid responsibility while making you feel like the bad guy. And if you're not careful, you'll start believing it. You'll start thinking, maybe I was too harsh. Maybe I should have said it differently. Maybe I need to be more understanding. And boom, just like that, they've got you right back where they want you. But let me tell you something. You are not responsible for their feelings. You are not responsible for their wounds. And you are not responsible for fixing what they refuse to acknowledge. Because real victims don't manipulate. Real victims don't guilt trip. Real victims don't use their pain as a weapon to control others. So what do? You refuse to engage in their performance. You don't explain, you don't defend, you don't play their game. You hold your ground and let them drown in their own drama. And yeah, they're going to throw a tantrum. They're going to cry. They're going to act like you're the cruelest person on the planet. But you know what? That's not your problem. Your job is not to carry their guilt. Your job is not to tiptoe around their triggers. Your job is to stand in your truth and refuse to be manipulated. Because the moment you stop feeding into their victim act, the moment you stop feeling guilty for setting boundaries, they lose their grip on you. And when that happens, you win smear camp it. You ever notice how the moment you start pulling away, suddenly everyone around you starts acting different? Maybe they're looking at you funny. Maybe they're whispering behind your back. Maybe they're cutting you off without explanation. That's the smear campaign. That's when a narcissist realizes they can't control you anymore, so they try to control how others see you. And trust me, they go all out. They'll tell people you're crazy. They'll say you're abusive. They'll paint you as unstable, difficult, ungrateful. And the worst part? They'll do it in a way that makes them look like the reasonable one. Because they don't come out and say, oh, they're a terrible person. No. They play the long game. They drop little hints. They tell concerned stories. They act like they're worried about you. And people fall for it because narcissists are master manipulators. They know how to twist reality just enough to make people doubt you. And when you find out what they've been saying, it hurts. It makes you want to scream. It makes you want to defend yourself. It makes you want to fight back and clear your name. But listen to me. The moment you engage, you lose. Because that's exactly what they want. They want you emotional. They want you reactive. They want you so caught up in defending yourself that you look guilty. So what do? You let your actions speak louder than their lies. You don't explain. You don't chase. You don't play into their game. You just keep moving forward. Because the truth has a funny way of coming out. And the people who really know you, the people who really matter, they'll see through the BS in time. So don't waste your energy trying to fix what they broke. Focus on your healing. Focus on your growth. And let them destroy themselves with their own lies. Because at the end of the day, the people who believe their nonsense were never really on your side to begin with. And that's the best kind of clarity you can have. Love bonding or fake apologies. You ever notice how right when you're about to walk away, they suddenly turn into the person you always wanted them to be? They start saying all the right things. They start doing all the things you begged them to do. They act like they finally understand, like they've had some grand realization, like they can't live without you. And for a second, you start to wonder, maybe this time is different. Maybe they really do love me. Maybe they've finally changed. But let me tell you something right now. It's a desperate attempt to pull you back in because they don't miss you. They miss controlling you. They don't want to be better. They just want to reset the cycle. And they know that if they can get you to believe them one more time, they'll have you right where they want you. So they apologize. They promise. They cry. They say, I can't lose you. I'll do anything. I see it now. But the truth is, if they really saw it, if they really cared, they wouldn't have needed to lose you to change. They would have changed when they had you. And here's the key. Real change is consistent. Real change doesn't come with manipulation. Real change doesn't have an expiration date. But narcissists, their change is a mirage. It disappears the moment you come back. Because the second they feel safe again, the second they know they've got you back under their control, the mask comes off. And suddenly, you're right back where you started. The same manipulation, the same mind games, the same toxic cycle. So what do? You don't fall for it. You don't entertain their words. You watch their patterns. You don't listen to their promises. You look at their past behavior. And if history tells you they've done this before, trust that they'll do it again because they don't change. They adjust. They tweak their approach. They learn what works and what doesn't. But the core of who they are, it stays the same. And you are done being fooled. You are done being manipulated. You are done hoping for the version of them that never actually existed. So when they come running back, when they tell you everything you've ever wanted to hear, you stand tall. You look them in the eye and you say, too little, too late. Then you walk away. And this time, you don't look back. Sudden discard and replacement. You ever notice how after everything you've been through, after all the pain, after all the tears, you move on? Like you never even existed? One minute they're love bombing you, begging you to stay, telling you they can't live without you. The next, they're flaunting someone new like you were nothing. Like all the time, all the effort, all the memories meant nothing. And let me tell you, that is one of the most brutal parts of dealing with a narcissist because it makes you feel disposable, makes you question your worth, makes you wonder, was I ever even loved? But here's the truth. It was never about love. It was always about control. See, narcissists don't bond with people. They use them. They don't build connections. They collect supply. And the second they realize you're no longer falling for their games, they have two choices: evolve or replace you. And let's be real, they're not going to evolve. So what do? They find someone else, someone who doesn't know them yet, someone who still sees them as charming, perfect, desirable, someone they can start the cycle all over with. And they make sure you see it. They post it online. They tell mutual friends. They do whatever they can to rub it in your face because they want you to react. They want you to feel jealous, hurt, abandoned. They want you to come running back just so they can reject you and feel powerful again. Well, listen to me. Their new supply isn't special. They're just another victim in line. They're just another person who's about to go through the same exact cycle you did. The highs, the lows, the confusion, the heartbreak, it's all coming for them, just like it came for you. So what do? You let them go. You don't check their social media. You don't stalk their new relationship. You don't compare yourself. You move forward. Because the best revenge, the most powerful thing you can do is to heal, to thrive, to live your life so fully, so freely that their existence becomes irrelevant to you. Because that is what they fear the most. They don't fear losing you. They fear losing their power over you. And the moment you realize they never truly had it, you win threats and intimidation. You ever notice how when everything else fails, when they can't gaslight you, when they can't guilt you, when they can't win you back, they start getting nasty? Maybe they threaten to ruin your reputation. Maybe they threaten to take everything from you, your job, your home, your kids. Maybe they even threaten to hurt themselves. And suddenly you're trapped in a whole new level of fear because now it's not just emotional manipulation, it's war. And they want to make sure you're too scared to leave, too scared to speak, too scared to stand up for yourself, because fear is their last weapon. But let me tell you something. They only resort to fear when they know they've lost everything else. And that's where you take your power back. Because the moment you stop being afraid of them, the moment you realize their threats are just empty words designed to control you, they lose their grip. So what do? You document everything. You get support. You go legal if you have to. You do not let them bully you into silence, because silence is how they win. And listen to me carefully. If they threaten to hurt themselves, it is not your responsibility to save them. That is manipulation, not love. That is control, not care. That is them trying to trap you in a situation that benefits them and destroys you. So you stay strong, you stay smart, and above all, you stay free. Because once you stop reacting to their threats, once you stop letting them dictate your decisions, you step into a level of power they never wanted you to reach. And that is when they lose for good. You'll never find better. The final mind game. You ever notice how when all their tricks have failed, when they can't gaslight you, guilt you, love bomb you, or intimidate you, they hit you with one final blow? They look you dead in the eye and say, no one will ever love you like I did. And for a moment, it stings. It cuts deep. Because after everything, after all the mind games, all the lies, all the manipulation, there's still a part of you that wonders, what if they're right? What if you're too broken now? What if you'll never find someone who understands you like they did? What if you end up alone? And that is exactly what they want you to believe. Because if they can plant that seed of doubt, if they can make you fear moving on, if they can convince you that being with them, even in pain, is better than being alone, then they still win. But let me tell you something right now. They are lying, because the truth, the real, raw, undeniable truth, is that the love they gave you wasn't love at all. It was control, it was manipulation, it was breadcrumbs of affection, just enough to keep you hooked, but never enough to truly nourish you. And you deserve more. You deserve real love, love that doesn't come with conditions, love that doesn't make you question your worth, love that feels safe, because listen to me, there is better out there. And I'm not just talking about romantic love. I'm talking about self-love. I'm talking about waking up one day, looking in the mirror and realizing you don't need them, that you never did. I'm talking about friendships that lift you up, a life that excites you, a peace that they could never take from you again. Because the biggest plot twist in this whole story, the thing they never wanted you to realize, the best love you will ever find is the love you give yourself. And when you finally see that, when you finally know that deep in your soul, they lose their last weapon, because their words can't touch you anymore. Their lies don't shake you. Their absence doesn't leave a void. It leaves room for something better. So let them say whatever they want. Let them believe they broke you. Let them think you'll never find happiness again. Because one day, when you're out there living your best life, when you're smiling without effort, when you're surrounded by people who truly see you, truly value you, truly love you, they'll realize they were wrong. And by then, you won't even care. You win. This is the moment. This is where you break the cycle. This is where you take everything they tried to destroy in you and build something stronger, something unbreakable, because you are not who they said you were. You are powerful. You are worthy. And you are about to step into a life that they could never be a part of. This is your time now. Go take it.